My guest today is a two-time WBC super middleweight champion who's racked up an impressive 27 wins, 0 defeats, by the way, with 24 of his wins coming by way of knockout. He'll try to add one more to that total when he takes on Demetrius Andrade on November 25th in Las Vegas. Please welcome the man Mike Tyson, labeled the Mexican monster himself, the one and only David Benavidez. What's going on, man? How are you, man? How's everything?
Going good. First of all, I just want to give a thanks to you guys for inviting me on the show. And I feel really good, man. We're 2 weeks out from the fight, and we're 100% ready to go November 25th.
Well, you know I'm a big fan of yours. You know, no question about that. You're something special. This fight with Andrade, why? Why him?
You know, the fight that we're trying to get was with Canelo Alvarez. Is a fight that I rightfully earned. I'm the #1 contender for the WBC belt. He didn't want to give me the fight, so now we look for the next best thing, and that's Demetrius Andrade. He's a fighter that's been ducked by a lot of fighters, and a fighter that's really good. But these are the type of fights I want. He's the best in the division, so now it's time to take him out.
You know, when he talks, and first of all, he can fight. Make no mistake about it. He's 32-0. He's undefeated as well with 19 KOs. Doesn't have your knockout power, but he's a very, very skilled southpaw. When you're going against him, talk to me about what your game plan needs to be against him that would be different, say, what you did against Caleb Plant or anybody else. How does Andrade, what kind of problems does he pose for somebody like yourself, potentially?
To be honest with you, I think it's the same game plan as Caleb Plant. You know, it's another boxer, another fighter, the slick fighter that moves around. So I got to cut the distance, go in there, and, you know, make it really uncomfortable for him on the inside. I know it's not going to be easy because he's very talented, very technical. He moves around a lot. But, hey, these are the type of fights I want. I don't want any easy fights. You know, I want to go and make it hard for myself. But I will guarantee you guys that I am going to get the knockout victory.
When you think about yourself at this point in time in your career and what you bring to the table, what is it that you think the public is missing about you? Things watching you, seeing you finish opponents, seeing the speed, seeing power in both hands. I'm just wondering, is there something that we're missing about you in your mind, things that we don't know about you that we need to see?
You know, there's still a lot of things that I'm working on, and then things that I want to show to the fans that I'm capable of. Is just putting everything on the line. You know, the fans know that I'm a power puncher, throws a lot of punches and bunches, and I like to go in there and get the knockouts. So, I mean, I just want to keep giving the fans what they want to see, and I want to keep proving to the world that I am the best super middleweight on this planet.
I have never seen you hurt, bro. I'm trying to figure out, because I watch your fights. I make sure to watch you when you're fighting. I don't even recall seeing you hurt. When's the last time you've been hurt in the boxing ring? Seriously.
Never, and you never will see me hurt either. That's why I work extremely hard. I got 3 months into this training camp. I put everything into this training camp. I have not left any stone unturned, and I come into my fights very prepared. So that's why the whole super middleweight division should be scared. You know, I'm not going to take no for an answer, and I'm going to clear this whole division out.
What was it like for you watching Canelo Alvarez fight against the smaller Jamal Charlo? I mean, he moved up 2 weight classes to fight Saul Canelo Alvarez. And I gave him a lot of points for bravery because I'm like, you know, we talking about Canelo Alvarez here. But I was upset that the fight took place because, first of all, his brother obviously was having some personal issues he has to deal with. But he's the natural fighter at 168. He wasn't prepared for that fight. So the brother moved up, obviously. He said he had targeted it all along. He was supposed to be the guy, but went up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo. But I thought that Canelo should have been fighting you. What was it like for you as somebody who's the #1 contender that obviously is in line to fight Canelo, to see Canelo take that fight against an opponent 2 divisions smaller than him?
You know, I don't want to disrespect Charlo at all. You know, he took the chance. He went up 2 weight classes and he didn't look good. Canelo Alvarez, in my opinion, he didn't look good. It was a boring fight. You know, there was only a little bit punches thrown. And what the fans really want to see is Canelo Alvarez versus a real super middleweight. You know, I'm the strongest, I'm the fastest, I'm the best in this division. So let's get the people what they want to see. What are we waiting for?
Why do you think he's waiting so long to fight you?
Because he knows that once he steps in the ring with me, all his belts are going to leave with me. I'm not leaving that building without all those belts, and I will be victorious when that fight happens.
And I'm wondering, listen, like Mike Tyson calls you the Mexican monster. Obviously, you know what, you got those Latino roots and what have you. I'm wondering why the folks in Mexico and beyond haven't demanded that Canelo ultimately fight you, that they've let him get away with waiting so long to get you in the ring. I'm speculating, I don't know. But I'm wondering how you feel along those lines, about how long he's waited to get you in the ring. Why is that?
You know, to be honest with you, I feel like he knows that I'm the biggest threat that he's ever faced, and that's why he's just letting it prolong for as long as he can. The fans and the fight legends are already calling for this fight, but I think Canelo thinks that he's going to wait me out. But that's going to be even more dangerous for him because I'm getting more experience, I'm getting more comfortable, you know, in the spotlight, and I'm ready to go. I'm hungry. I want this. I really want all those belts, and I really want to prove to the world that I am the best.
How do you label Andrade against the regular competition that you faced against in your career? What do you make of him and what he brings to the table compared to the previous opponents you faced in your career?
Oh, Andre, without a doubt, he's the best opponent I've ever faced. You know, he's an Olympian. He's a two-time world champion, 2 different weight classes. So we prepare very well for him. You know, I know he has a lot of tricks up his sleeve, but I have a lot of tricks up my sleeves too. But hey, let's go to war November 25th, and I will come out victorious.
You know, one of the things that I remember, and there's a basketball player by the name of Kevin Durant. You might have heard of him. He's a superstar in the National Basketball Association. And he was talking to the public and saying, some of y'all don't get it. We actually work harder and go at each other harder when we're friends as opposed to enemies. When I saw you and Caleb Plant, you know, basically promoting your fight before you ultimately beat him, I remember I said to myself, there's a lot of animosity there. You don't like this dude. And in boxing especially, I think the more you dislike an opponent, the better the fight's going to be, the more you desperately want to go after them. Is that a wrong thinking on my part, or is that something that you genuinely believe?
No, yeah, definitely. I think that once there's more animosity, it gives more of a show, more of a spectacle, because you could see it at the press conference and stuff. But for this fight, I feel like we've shown that the people that we're gentlemen, you know, that we could conduct ourselves as professionals. Yeah. But the game plan is still the same. I'm gonna go in there, try to take his head off every single round. And now that I don't have to deal with that beef outside the ring, I can focus 100% on boxing and in this fight, and I'm gonna go do my job to perfection November 25th.
If you beat Andrade, when you beat Andrade, because I think you'll beat him. I respect the hell out of his skills or whatever, but I definitely have you winning this fight. Where do you go from here if Canelo Alvarez will not give you a fight?
You know, my plan is, like I said, to be the best in the world at this division. And if he doesn't want to fight me, I'll fight whoever in this division. But I'm also interested to go up to 175 and fight Beagle. I think that's a fight that could be made. You know, I know Beagle really well. I sparred him in the past. So I think that's a fight that could be made in the future. But like I said, we're going to keep putting pressure on the WBC. They said, you know, that they're going to make this fight versus me and Canelo happen after this, after the winner of Demetrius Andre and David Benavidez. That's going to be the real mandatory for Canelo. And I put all the work in, and so let's go and get this fight right after.
Canelo has moved up and down. You're talking about 168 and potentially moving to 175. You ever thought about moving down a little bit at 160 or at a catch weight of 165 to fight some of those other opponents in the middleweight division? Have you thought about that?
No, to be honest with you, I'm just I won't go down past 68. I think I'll just go up 168. And since to me, I'm a big frame. I'm getting older too, so it's not as easy to make 168 anymore. So I could only imagine making 160 or catch weight. So we're just gonna stay at 168 or go to 175.
Your prediction for this fight is what?
I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna knock out Demetrius Andre. You know, a lot of people say I can't do it. A lot of people say that I have too much flaws, but hey, I always find a way to win this fight, and I look impressive all the time. So I want to shut all my haters up. I want to shut all the critics up, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do November 25th.
WBC super welterweight champion, super middleweight champion of the world, the one and only David Benavidez, right here with Stephen A. Smith on the Stephen A. Smith Show. I appreciate you, my man. Thank you so much for being on the show. Good luck.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you guys.
No doubt.